In this video, I'm going to compare the $130 Camlink 4K capture card to this $20 generic capture card that a lot of YouTubers have been raving about. What's up everybody? My name is Brandon, and on this channel I focus on creating content that I think other content creators would enjoy. So whether you create videos for YouTube or just want to improve your streaming or gaming setup, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more helpful content like this. Alright, so we all know that webcams like the Logitech C920 are great cameras to get started with when streaming. Even today, some of the biggest streamers still use a webcam over much more expensive cameras because frankly, they get the job done. But there is no denying that jumping from a webcam to something like a DSLR camera can make your stream look way better. Because cameras like DSLRs weren't made to feed footage into computers, you need to buy an additional device called a capture card. And these cards plug directly into a USB port on your computer that you then plug your camera into via a mini HDMI to HDMI cable. By the way, I will link to every device and part that I refer to in this video down below in the description. This capture card takes the footage from your camera and it formats it in a way that your computer can then understand. And just like that, you've got a really nice camera feeding directly into your computer, just like a webcam. Pretty simple, right? Well, the most complicated part of this process is figuring out if you'll be just fine spending $20 on this generic capture card, or if you need to fork out the $130 for this super popular Camlink 4K capture card from Elgato. I went ahead and I obviously bought both, and I ran several comparisons that I want to show you. And first things first, let's talk about specs really quick. The Camlink 4K supports 1080p at 60 frames per second, as well as 4K up to 30 frames per second. The generic card claims on the box that it supports 4K in very fine print, but it does not. It does, however, support 1080p at 30 frames per second, which should still produce a very good looking stream. The generic card only needs a USB 2.0 port, whereas the Camlink requires a 3.0 port, which is a pretty good sign that this is probably going to be giving better quality. So I'm going to show you 3 tests that I ran. One is recorded on my Logitech C920 webcam, which we'll use as a baseline because that's what I've been streaming with. And then the other 2 were recorded on my Canon SL2 at 60 frames per second. And that is the DSLR camera that you are literally looking through right now. I'm recording this video with that one, so I can't quite show you it. And for the audio, I'm using the new Wave 3 mic from Elgato, which I have on a stand here. And this mic, by the way, is a content creator's dream. So if you want my full review of that mic, I will go ahead and link to that below. And this is just recording on the standard Logitech C920 webcam, again, using the Elgato Wave mic. Do a little clap test. And we'll wave our hand, check out the frame rate, and then we'll do some pronunciations just to see how well the audio syncs with the video, okay? Sounds good? All right, awesome. Okay, recording on the DSLR using the Wave mic for the audio, and this is on the generic capture card. Do some clap test here. And do some waving, check out the frame rate there. And then we'll just do some pronunciations right now just to see how well the audio is matching my voice. Okay, that's all. And this is me recording on the DSLR with the Wave mic, and I'm using the Camlink 4K capture card. Do a little clap test here. Wave our hands, check out that frame rate, and then we're gonna do some pronunciations to really put this thing to the test to see how well the audio and the video synchronize with each other. All right, okay, sounds good. See ya. Okay, so first off, those notification sounds that you may have heard during those tests, those were coming from the Tech Audit TV Discord community, a lot going on in there, and I didn't realize it was picking those sounds up. This is also a great time to tell you that if you aren't already in the community Discord, you should totally join, and I will put a link to the community down below. Now, back to the analysis. The first thing is that even with the cheap generic capture card, the look of the DSLR view was still, in my opinion, much better than the C920 webcam. But how did it compare to the much more expensive Camlink? The Camlink came out on top, but the comparisons were much closer than I was expecting. You can tell a slight difference in frame rate with the generic card, giving a little bit of blur, whereas the Camlink was much more true to reality. A big part of that was because the Camlink can do 60 frames per second. The cheaper generic one can only do 30. The other noticeable difference was color. The color settings and lighting I'm using on all of these tests are the same lighting and settings that I'm using on this very video that you're watching, so you can kind of use that to compare. So what you're seeing right now is the truest color, and out of those tests, the Camlink is pretty close, with saturation being slightly lower, and the generic capture card came in with an even higher level of saturation. In my opinion, the Camlink came through with the better color, but with DSLRs, you can fine tune your camera settings to compensate for how the capture card is gonna color things. So this detail, in my opinion, is a minor one. The most important part of this test for me was the video and sound syncing up. This is one of those areas that most reviews I found were skipping over, which is the primary reason I wanted to make this video, because I do a lot of talking headshots in my live streams, and the last thing that I want on my stream is for my lips to be off when I'm talking. That would be super, super annoying for my viewers. In this case, the Camlink also came out on top, and you could barely notice any delay, whereas the generic capture card did have a small but noticeable syncing issue with the audio and video. So after comparing these two capture cards, let me give you my conclusion. If you're only planning on using your DSLR camera just to make your video chats look better on stuff like Zoom or Skype, this generic card is perfect for you, because those video conference platforms already compress the crap out of video footage. If you are wanting to upgrade your stream, but you only plan on having the video of you be in the corner of your stream like a lot of people do, rather than like a full screen talking headshot, then again, this generic capture card will be plenty. This footage you see here is me playing Call of Duty on my PC and capturing my face using the generic capture card, and it looks fantastic. However, if you are planning on streaming more talking head style shots where you are the emphasis and not the game or a presentation, or maybe you're wanting 4K video and maybe even want to record your main YouTube videos via your computer rather than onto an SD card, then investing in a Camlink 4K is absolutely the way to go. So it's not necessarily a winner and loser. Yes, this is overall better. It's obviously much more expensive, but there are situations where the ROI on the cheaper one is there, again, depending on your scenario. If this comparison was helpful, let me know by hitting that thumbs up button, and let me know what you think about this situation here with these cards. Would you spend the $130 to get this capture card instead of saving a bunch of money for the generic one? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, my name is Brandon Hassler, and this is Tech Audit TV.